Start. Hello, viewers. Welcome to Bits and Banter. Today we have with us Ganesh Gopalan. Let me tell you who Ganesh is. For starters, more than 3 decades of experience in banking and finance. If he tells you, advises you on how to sort of save money and run the show, I think you should take his advice. Maybe I'll get him on the show for one of those later, some other time. But today he's here because he feels for CSK. He watches IPL. He's a sports enthusiast. And most importantly, we have been classmates from school. And we probably played with each other in the same team a few times. So that's the background, Ganesh. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Raj, for having me. It's almost like getting back to first love.
Oh yeah, and getting back to school, man. I mean, that's the big.
Yeah, that's most beautiful.
So why is he here? There is a reason he's here, because yesterday after our show, Bits and Banter show, he had this wonderful question which he asked me, and the question was this: if there were to be an IPL auction at this moment, right now, how many of the CSK players would actually see a bidding war and would actually be acquired by other teams? Very interesting question. Very, very interesting question given what has happened even yesterday. So I didn't know the answer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Ganesh the answer. Ganesh, over to you.
Thank you. Before we get into this, Raj, about the auction thing, I mean, a brief word about how CSK's fortunes have been dwindling, particularly in the context of what happened yesterday. I mean, I saw your latest Bits and Banter, and the other gentleman, Mr. Bala, said very succinctly that it couldn't have hidden Nadir.
Yes.
I think as the saying goes, you hit a bottom.
Yeah.
And this is particularly very poignant in the context of what CSK's fortunes were, say, 2 years ago.
Yeah. Any lower, like they say, any lower, plumb any lower, you will hit oil.
But then you need to be a Rockefeller for that, right?
Yeah, I know. So okay. I think he's only a feller now. Rock has gone away. Anyway, bad puns. Yeah.
Okay, so now this question has become even more relevant.
Yeah.
Because with CSK's dwindling fortunes, one is very clear that it's almost like a mathematical impossibility or close to implausibility that they will reach the playoffs. Because the maximum they can get is 14, and then there will also be some other teams which will get into 14, assuming that the permutation combination work that way.
Yeah,
at least 14.
True.
So CSK is as good as lost out on the playoffs, and probably this must be the first time ever since 2008.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah. I mean, if I can jog my memory, I think this is probably the first time ever that they have not been able to reach these playoffs.
Yeah.
So, of course, there are a lot of reasons for that. I will not get into the details as to what. And as you rightly put in your earlier show, that I like that point which you made, that it was always simmering. This thing was to happen. It was not like something which came out of the cupboard and stared at you, to use your own phrase. And the best time, as they say, when you go into sunset, is when you're on a high, and it applies to the best of sportsmen. And sadly, most sadly, it's you made a very right point there, that it's very sad to see Dhoni like this. It's not about criticism. It's not. He's done so much for India. In fact, in my book, he will always be the #1 cricketer ever. Ever India has produced, in terms of the numbers, in terms of the results. But here we are seeing a different kind of a result, which probably one doesn't want to associate with him and his support staff. So having said that, it begs to really discuss about an eventuality which might happen, if not today, down the line, say in a few months' time, or probably when the next IPL takes place, say hopefully in India in April 2021, assuming that Corona is behind us. Because this year's IPL is obviously happening now. So if things go along, so we have got about 6 months away, and assuming that there is an auction. Well, it's a very difficult question to answer because one is that most of the teams look set. We've seen 7 other teams do the auction. They have already rejigged their players in a way that they did. Of course, some of them are really stabilized. We will name them. Of course, they would not like any imports from CSK if they can help it.
Yeah, just look at it one way. Forget about other teams. We are only talking Chennai here. See, think of the players who are there in Chennai. So if I were to take your logic to the next level, so if I talk about the batsmen, I mean, as they are listed in the order, I mean, the batsmen that are listed in the CSK team are Murali Vijay, Ambati Rayudu, Faf du Plessis, and Ruturaj Gaikwad. So where do you see them going? I mean, imagine, forget about whether they need or not. Imagine that.
Very hypothetically.
Yes, hypothetically. This is all hypothesis. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. First and foremost, Watson is.
No, we have not got that. No, that is all rounder. We'll come to that. I'm going batsman.
So we have got batsmen.
I'm just looking at the Crickbuzz site and I'm saying, okay, the first 4 are batsmen: Murali Vijay, Ambati Rayudu, Faf du Plessis, Ruturaj Gaikwad.
One question here. Would you like to add Raina also?
Raina, I think, is a done and dusted story. I'm assuming he will turn up for a different franchise sooner than later. That is what I hear.
Okay, so and he will be sold, obviously. Good pedigree still left in him.
Yeah, so he is not in this list, so we'll drop him for now.
Okay. So, Murali Vijay, again, this is a shadow of his old self.
Yes.
I can't see him getting selected because an opener's position is very, very vital and he cannot play in any other role.
Yeah.
First and foremost. So he is also, so he will not get selected. Maybe as a third opener or a fourth opener, he might, still some franchises might, I mean, maybe in the third bidding or fourth bidding.
He might be at a discounted price.
Discounted price. And if there is any kind of a swap, if somebody gets injured or something like that, so that is a very, very remote scenario. We'll move that. Ruturaj Gaikwad has got age on his side. I've not seen him personally in perform, so I cannot really comment on him. But from what I've learned and heard about it and read about him, I think he has some potential. Maybe he's in the early 20s, if I remember.
He's 23 years old, so which basically
23 years old.
So
he has got time on his side. Sooner rather than later, like the rest of the people who are making a mark for themselves in this IPL and who are probably unknown, say a few IPL, his time will come.
Okay, so that.
And I would expect him. him to be taken by some of the franchises.
Yeah, fine. So,
as regards Ambati Rayudu, again, age is not on his side, 35, 34, 35. Well, it's a 50-50 because I still feel he has got some amount of cricket left in him. And why I'm saying that is because he managed to run very close in the Indian side of 2019 World Cup.
Yeah, and that is also past. I'm saying today. I mean, as of today's form.
I will say before his injury, because see, this is an IPL where Ambati Rayudu has 2 flavors to it: before injury and after injury. Yeah. Before injury, he was in his element. After his injury, after he's coming back, I think he had a hamstring or something. Yeah. It has been iffy bit. Benefit of doubt. And he has been one of those consistent performers across franchises. Yeah. Earlier, when he was with Mumbai Indians, also he was doing well. Even in the earlier editions of.
We'll forget the earlier. Like I said, no, let us forget the earlier. Only this edition.
I think I'll give him 1 or 2 years more.
Yeah.
So he'll be selected.
Faf du Plessis, I think
Faf du Plessis is good enough. He's good enough, and he has actually been a revelation for me this year.
Yes.
Nobody expected that Faf du Plessis will be the most, in terms of scores, the highest scorer for any franchises, at least like CSK.
Yeah, but I'll tell you an interesting thing, Ganesh. I'll tell you an interesting thing. Faf du Plessis actually was playing second fiddle to Michael Hussey for quite a long time. So they had actually invested in Faf for quite a long time. But since Hussey was there, they just couldn't fit him in. So he used to get the one or two games every season, and that was it. So today is the time when he is coming up really well. Yeah, go ahead.
And Hussey comes with an added benefit. If you talk of, I'll call him almost like an all-rounder. His fielding is simply out of the world.
Yes.
One. Secondly, his thinking brain. The fact that he is a South African captain, and of course it's good to have in a side, particularly when you have 2-3 kind of go-to men for any kind of advice in a crunch situation. Maybe you are on the 19th over 20th.
You hold on to that. We'll come back to Faf later because there is
another Faf, for his batting, he will definitely he's been a standout performer this IPL. and he will be sold.
We'll go through fast because otherwise we'll run out of time.
Yep. Okay, fine.
So now we
so
have
these four, Ritu
we'll keep it aside. Now, all-rounders, there is a huge list. I'm not going to talk about people who have not played. So I'll just talk about Shane Watson, Dwayne Bravo, Kedar Jadhav, Ravindra Jadeja, Piyush Chawla, Mitchell Santner, who has not played, and Sam Curran. Sam Curran, I think we can definitely...
number one. He will get a shoe in number one.
Yes.
And he's got age on his side.
Yeah. I mean, it's obvious. Yeah.
And any franchisee will give the right hand to take it.
Yes. Shane Watson.
No brainers.
Yeah.
Shane Watson on the side, he'll be... I think it's better that he hangs up his boots because certainly not IPL anymore.
Dwayne Bravo.
Piyush Chawla. I'll come to Dwayne Bravo. Dwayne Bravo in a couple of minutes. Piyush Chawla, again, same reason as Watson. His best years are behind him.
Yeah. Okay. Although he's only 31.
Although he's 31, but I can't see him. He doesn't have variety, and he's all too predictable now. As regards the two guys, Jadeja has got age on his side, and he's been a consistent performer. He will be taken, if not by all the franchises, but at least by some franchises.
Okay.
Even if it doesn't get that bidding war kind of a thing.
Got it.
And as regards Bravo, it's again he doesn't have many more years left, but still he's a impact player. He still is an impact player provided he is fit.
Okay.
That is very, very important because he plays in franchisee leagues across the world.
Yeah.
And he has results to show for it. So so what if he has failed in IPL? He does very well in Big Bash. He does it very well in the Caribbean thing, Pakistan League, and all those things.
Okay,
so
got it.
He will be selected.
Yeah. So now we come to the bowlers.
Who is the first one? Kedar Jadhav.
Kedar Jadhav. Yeah. No, I mean, I think
Kedar Jadhav, no way.
Yeah.
No brainer.
Yeah.
He's being given a longer rope than usual. He should
requires.
never have been given this much rope ever.
Now we come to the bowlers. Bowlers also, I'm only taking those, like, I mean, you made a point. Mitchell Santner never, yesterday while we were chatting, you said Mitchell Santner never got a chance. So we won't look at those people who didn't get a chance. We'll go with all those people who got a chance. You have Shardul Thakur and Deepak Chahar. What's your thought on that?
They are, in fact, one of those few players in CSK who are firing.
Okay. Okay. We'll leave it there.
So let's leave it there. I don't know how much of that will carry into an auction. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, you said it. I think that is good enough. Then you have Karan Sharma and Lungi Ngidi.
See, Lungi Ngidi is one of those good guys in a 50-over format. I can't see him really doing consistently well in a 20-20 format. Because he usually sprays this. He's got a pace, he got the height, he got the bounce, but he's not a Rabada.
Okay. So in which case?
I mean, I hope.
Yeah, got it. In which case?
So in which case, I don't know, because better fast bowlers have got unsold. So it is a very unpredictable kind of a. But then he's got age on his side. He's very young.
In CSK, which means that you will actually always prefer Josh Hazlewood, right?
Josh Hazlewood has the exactly coming to that.
Yeah, correct. Makes sense.
Because if Lungi Ngidi has been that good, he would have maintained his place in the CSK 11 itself consistently.
Yeah.
I think so he's more of a 50-50 player or a test player rather than a 20-20 specialist.
Now I have one person who has not played a single match, but who was the purple cap.
Sharma. You're thinking about Karan Sharma.
Karan Sharma, yes. What's your? I mean,
Karan Sharma. Well, I don't know. He has been moving around here and there. He was in, if I remember, he was in SRH.
Yeah.
And then he moved around. I think he's been taken by CSK just to beef up their spin resources.
Yeah.
But, again, I don't know how much age in term. I think he's probably 30-31. He must be around that.
No, he's 32. Yeah, he's 32. You're 32. Right. You hit the So if he so we'll leave it there.
I can't really see him.
Yeah.
Maybe
one
an
bowler.
Exception.
Yeah. One bowler I want to talk about is Imran Tahir, who didn't bowl at all this time, who was the purple cap holder last time, and he has been, like you said, from your own experience, he has been doing rather well in the global T20 circuits.
See, he's actually good. If you were to ask me, he could have been the Rashid Khan of CSK. Considering the fact that he's got all the varieties, leg spin, googly, fastish, slider, whatnot. Yeah. And he's one of the best, no doubt about it. The sad part is they never tried it. It is most ironical that he's not even played in the 10 games that they have played, even one.
Yeah. I
think,
agree. I agree.
either it has got to do something with the injury, or they're probably not able to fit him. He could very well have been one of the game changers if they had,
Yeah,
particularly in the Middle Ages.
yeah.
But he's got 37 years old.
No, he's 41
He
now.
doesn't have any.
He's 41.
41. Oh
Yeah,
wow.
and he's still fit. He
He's
seems
still
fitter
fit,
than
and
yeah. He seems fitter than others.
well, again, maybe some franchises may look at age as a consideration.
We'll
may
leave
not
that
select.
aside. We'll
We'll leave it aside. But he's good
because-
enough. He's
yeah.
good enough to walk into any of the
Yeah.
franchises.
So
Even
you remember Praveen Tambe? He's still playing Caribbean League.
Praveen Tambe, yeah.
He's playing
I
Caribbean
remember.
League. Yeah.
Caribbean League.
You never know.
Used to
You
be the
never know.
Rajasthan,
Yeah,
Rajasthan
correct.
Rajasthan
Rajasthan Royals. Yeah. So I'll come now.
Rajasthan
Finally, I'll come to Dhoni, captain wicketkeeper. Now, what happens to him? I mean, if there is an auction and Dhoni has to go under the this thing. I mean, this is the toughest one, right? We have all been talking about this. So where does that leave? Where do you see Dhoni go from here?
First and foremost, nobody is going to pitch for him because he
Okay.
will not come cheap. Number one, and
Hmm.
secondly, they would rather CSK would not like to let go of him. They would
Hmm.
probably be eased into a mentor role or a kind of a batting consultant role,
Okay.
which
So
is
you
in
think is a
line with
good
the
idea?
philosophy of which is what is going to happen. And Dhoni doesn't have to prove himself to any league
That's true. That's
at
true.
this point in time because he's already relinquished every arena, whether
Yeah.
it's the test arena, whether the 50-50 arena, whether the captaincy arena or the 2020 arena, at
Hmm.
least in terms of the international games.
Hmm.
We've already seen it announced on the 15th of August. So IPL is the only one. And now I think the IPL chapter is also slowly unfolding for him.
Yeah.
Probably the time for letting go. Because otherwise what will happen is we continues. Then the new captain or the new team which they're trying to bring in, which will most obviously happen, may not be able to go with the old flow. You need to have fresh ideas, you need to have fresh legs, you need to have fresh philosophy, fresh strategy, and so on and so forth.
So which basically means what you're suggesting is that Stephen Fleming and Dhoni need
The other
to make
option,
way.
the other
make way.
option,
Yeah.
they can. But you made a point in your earlier show today
Hmm.
about doing a Dinesh Karthik.
Hmm.
Dinesh Karthik did something remarkable, no doubt about it.
Hmm.
But there was an alternative. In the case of Dhoni, Faf is the only person who can probably lead. But
Yeah.
with the kind of personnel, I can't see him really succeeding as well.
Yeah, so my point was simple. I mean, since it is not succeeding anyways, why not do something different? So, I mean, I'm not saying that it should be done. Since you are not succeeding, you have, like we said, I mean, right in the beginning here, you have hit rock bottom. I mean,
But,
it can only go up, right, from there. There's no
but,
way it can go below.
I agree with you, but CSK, knowing CSK and its affiliation
do
and
it.
its kind of
That's
complex, they may not do it.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. I mean, this is just a
But
conversation.
then,
This is just a
yeah,
conversation.
so
We don't.
Dhoni, maybe he'll put the right bricks for the next season.
We hope
maybe
so.
6 months down the line.
We hope so.
And
we hope so.
he comes in a different avatar
Hmm.
because Dhoni is a huge impact for CSK. Without it's almost like a brand association.
Yeah.
CSK without brand, Dhoni is different. Could be a totally different setup.
Yeah. So I mean, see, the point is simple. Like morning I mentioned, I mean, every enterprise, if you look at this as an enterprise, you need to plan your succession. If you don't plan your succession, I mean, somewhere the legend becomes a disaster. So
I think what they could have done is, if Raina episode had not happened,
yeah, that would have
maybe Raina could have become the captain in waiting, because Faf is also not getting younger.
Yeah.
And that aspect, and Raina has enough experience in IPL to be able to hold his own in a championship. Kind of
in games. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I agree.
Because CSK is one of those very good few franchises have never tasted defeat. I mean, they've always been the number one or number two or at best semi-finalist.
So which is where this thing comes. No, I mean, when you are sort of when you are going in the same this thing, I mean, somewhere there will be a derailment, right? So you prepare for it, and in advance, I think now it is the right time for them to prepare.
So in a way, you can say it's like almost like a blessing in disguise. Since they've hit the bottom,
it can't go down. Yeah,
it can't go down further.
Yeah.
Maybe they lose a couple of more matches. That's the worst thing that can happen.
Yeah.
But they couldn't have done worse than what they did yesterday, because that 125 was simply
not on.
like a walk in the park for Rajasthan
Yeah,
Royals.
so I think I mean we can probably say that even our school team probably would have taken a crack at that 125. No? With you, me, and Venkat and all, we would have probably taken a crack at that. I think on that note we should end, because otherwise we'll plumb now along with them. So I think I think Ganesh, I think you made a lot of sense there, because see, if you look at the numbers that he reeled out, I mean there are probably 4 or 5 players who can be sure of their team, their places in another team, an equivalent team, if I might put it that way. So how did they paint themselves into a corner? Well, they did, and like we have been talking about, now that they have done it, the only way is coming up. So
one small point I would like to add, though it is
please.
not directly relevant to the persona.
Let me.
CSK as a franchise has a certain level of consistency and have backed players for so many years. Likewise, their backroom staff have also been a consistent kind of a thing, with Fleming, Bikel, your Hussey, and so on and so forth. I think that also requires some amount of tinkering, so that the newer strategy, newer tactics, newer ideas, and a newer avatar of CSK emerges out of this, like a phoenix from the ashes.
Yeah, point taken. Point taken. Yeah, makes sense. So we said that. I mean, maybe it's the end of the era for Dhoni and Fleming, and a couple of new people need to sort of step up.
And at the end of the day, last point I want to make: you should remember CSK for the good times.
Yeah, I mean, see.
I mean, the end of the day,
Ganesh,
that is something.
The point is simple. You are remembered for the last. I mean, your last success or failure. That is the unfortunate part in the world.
Yeah, you are right.
So, I mean, whatever has happened has happened. Now we wait patiently and hope that things sort of move up the way we always knew CSK is capable of.
Right.
We'll leave it there. Yeah, we'll leave it there. Thanks a lot, Ganesh, for joining. And
thank you very much.
Yeah, one thing I forgot. Every time Ganesh used to bowl and I used to always think he used to bowl like Sarfraz Nawaz. Just a fun. I mean, he had that same action. I don't know whether he used to copy it, or he just sort of was Sarfraz Nawaz in the
making. Okay, this is a revelation for me.
So that is all there is. So
thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Ganesh, and we'll soon do some more. I mean, I just love the idea. That idea was brilliant, and I think it has come out well. Thanks a lot.
Thanks very much, Raj, for having me.
Yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and go ahead and like, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.